Frances Marion Drake.
And you can use this if you like, or no.
Thank you. Welcome to my grave. In life, I was Governor Frances Marion Drake. I was known by many to be one of the most prominent of Centerville residents, and I think that my life was actually very, very fortunate in the way that I was able to live it and achieve the things that I was able to achieve. I was born in 1830 over in a little town in Rushville, Illinois. At that time, Iowa wasn't even a state. Iowa became part of the Wisconsin Territory, and at that time, my family moved to Fort Madison, one of the few settlements in Iowa at the time, and my father was a justice of the peace and a judge there. That's where I received my education, in Fort Madison. Iowa was opened up to settlement when it became a territory in 1846, and my family moved from there to go to Davis County, where we established the town of Drakeville, now known as Drakesville. There we had mercantile businesses, livestock businesses, and were among the earliest of the settlers. In 1849, however, the gold rush came. I was fascinated, as others were in Drakeville, by the thoughts of making a lot of gold out in the California gold fields. So we formed a team and went out west with 6 teams of oxen to seek our fortunes in the gold fields. We were attacked by the Pawnee Indians on Horseshoe Bend and nearly were killed, but fortunately I was able to strike the chief in the head with the butt of my rifle, and we were able to escape. The Indians escaped from us, and we headed on west. I was able to find enough gold to make enough money and was able to get back by boat around the Horn. In 1854, we decided to go west again. This time, we were driving 100 milk cows to California. We arrived safely with 99 of them. However, on the way back, we were riding in a double side-wheeler to go around the Cape, and we were involved in a race with another boat. And our boat, the Yankee Blade, ran aground at Port Conception off the coast of Mexico, which is now off the coast of Santa Barbara, actually. Many were killed, and I saved several and was able to save myself, and finally was able to make it back once again. However, in 1861, the Civil War began, a time of great crisis for not only our county, but for the whole nation. I knew that I had to do my part to help protect Appanoose County from the Confederates just to our very south. I joined part of what became the Appanoose County Militia and became a captain. We went down to Albany, Missouri. I joined up with General Patton down there, and we went over from there to St. Joseph, Missouri, where we successfully fought off the former Missouri governor, Governor Sterling Price, who was a Confederate general at the time. When I came back, I decided we need to form our own unit, so we helped to found the 36th Iowa Infantry from Centerville, 4 companies, in 1862, and I became Lieutenant Colonel. We fought well and hard, but we were an unlucky unit during the war. We successfully defended Helena, Arkansas. In 1863, we started a march with General Steele down to Camden, Arkansas, to invade the Arkansas area. However, we started to run out of food and forage for our horses. We marched down to a place called Elkins Ford, where I successfully fought off General Marmaduke's Confederate forces. General Marmaduke later became a governor of Missouri. We were able to head southwest of Camden, Arkansas, to search for forage for our horses, but unfortunately we were attacked at Poison Spring, where we were routed. Coming back to Camden, we decided to form a wagon train to head out for supplies, And during the march for supplies with 200 and some wagons and a number of troops, we were attacked by 4 units of Confederate cavalry, routed and captured at Marks Mills, Arkansas. That was an awful day for Centerville because so many of our men were captured, killed, wounded. Those captured went to Camp Ford in Tyler, Texas. I myself was leading my men, was shot in my left hip. They thought I was going to die. They took me to a cabin. There I met with General Fagan, and he said, "Surrender your troops." And I said, "Can't do it. I'm no longer in charge here." So we lost the battle, but we won the war. After the war, I did survive, so I decided to study for the bar and became a lawyer. I studied under Judge Amos Harris here in Centerville, studied his law books and became a lawyer. Went into practice with my old friend General Baker, who had become state senator from Missouri and then from Iowa. We did well. At the same time, I began the railroads. I started the Iowa Southern Railway, the east-west route, which became the Missouri, Iowa, and Nebraska Railroad, later known as the Keokuk and Western. I teamed up with a fellow by the name of Lane, and we formed a mercantile store on the west side of the square that still stands today. I sold out my interest in that. I started the Appanoose Savings Bank on the south side of the square, which later became the Centerville National Bank, later the Farmers Bank, and we did well with that. So the years were good to me. In 1880 I started the north-south route, the Centerville, Moravian, Albia route, which later became part of the CBQ. I decided I needed to do some good for education. My brother-in-law, George Carpenter, was the head of Oskaloosa College. We decided to move his college to the outskirts of Des Moines, where we founded Drake University. No, I never did offer Drake University to Centerville. But I was able to donate a lot of the buildings, the main building, the medical building, the law school, a number of the buildings of the Drake University, which still exists today. In 1895, I was elected governor of the state of Iowa, a Republican governor. I proved to be a very popular governor. During my term in office, we recodified the Iowa law. We helped build the Iowa State Normal School in Cedar Falls, the State University of Iowa in Iowa City, and the Iowa Agricultural College in Ames. I helped to launch the battleship, the USS Iowa, but alas, I slipped and fell during a rainstorm and during the summer on the steps of the Capitol building, sustaining a fracture of my hip, the same hip that had previously been injured during the Civil War. This limited me a great deal. I had to recuperate, and so I was no longer able to run for governor after that. I came back to Centerville. I was still intent on doing some good for education, as I felt my educational endeavors were my greatest accomplishments. Some of the ladies from Centerville wanted to form a reading room for books. I said, why not establish a library? Let's build a library. So I donated $25,000 and we built the library in Centerville. Another one of my accomplishments for Centerville. I founded the Drake Avenue Christian Church right nearby to the library. However, in 1903, I finally succumbed, dying of pneumonia in my own home. Thank you for visiting my grave. Does anyone have any questions?